Ajo ya ugiteri wa bururi yugite ndiaunire watho riria yathire ceceni-ini ya gutara kura cia president gucemania na muikariri giti Wafula Chebukati kwithukira wakiri George Olalo akajo iyo yugite itanya riayo riari kuiguithania na Chebukati uria maumirira macio makwaniririrwo kuri muigi hatari kwenyenya thayo wa bururi.
He says, Mr. Chebukati, when he was at the National Tallying Center, members of the National Security Advisory Committee visited him, and he sat with them. The visit by members of the National Security Advisory Committee to IEBC at the Tallying Center was an interference with the functions of IEBC. And it was calculated, given the membership who was sent there, it was designed and calculated to intimidate the chair of the IEBC and to seek to influence the outcome of the election.
He was sending a team to go and visit him and discuss the issue of security. That notwithstanding, the chairman pretends that this was an issue which he only came to know when he was informed by Professor Gulia. But immediately thereafter, he concedes that he was rung by Mr. Kinyua, but pretends that the call was by Mr. Kinyua to tell him that the team was coming to discuss the succession procedure, which is a matter which, to his knowledge, neither him nor NCSC are involved. We know that assumption of office is a process which is statutory, and members of that office had been appointed and are known and are not members of NSAC or persons who went to see him.
Ashirithania aigoti itogeru mauma na muimirira makana ni moririe mawakiri aria maranugamirira commission ya githurano William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua ciuria aikonainie na maundu maria metereire iguru ria cira-ini wa gutetia maumirira ma githurano gia president. Gatagati wa ciuria iria ciuritio ni utiganu wa wira wa makomishona na muikariri giti wa commission ya IBC. Macokio ma ciuria ici ni matanyitwo muthenya wa rucio gatano mathaa ma kiroko. Wajiko wakimani ni anatariria
results, but some of the colleagues have a dissenting voice. They will tell Kenyans why they are dissenting. Another thing that worries us, and I think your team should answer, is why the live streaming of the results stopped. Because if Kenyans were able to follow the streaming from the beginning to the end, which was being done in the spirit of accountability and stability and transparency, then the rhyme which we were being told of the pige ponki would not arise, because there would have been no confusion. We know this is how things are happening, and therefore maybe the losing candidate who is being called to go to the National Tallying Center can decide not to go, because they know already the results they are on the screen. So I would also like a clarification. The question has been asked, and it was demonstrated very ably by Mr. Mahat. I would really like to follow his presentation because he did it with passion. Mr. Kirago Kemani also did it, but I think I want you, Mr. Mahat, to, just demonstrate how the forms 34A that were attached to the affidavits of the respondents were photoshopped. I think I liked your language of photoshopping, and I could follow it, but I want to understand exactly how they were photoshopped. I think that is what I would like to ask. Thank you. Oh, one more.
Thank you, CJ. Sorry, I don't know whether it has been, but time without number, the issue of the 27 constituencies whose results, it is said, had not been included in the final tally before the announcement was made, keeps coming up. We have been told that in fact, these 27 constituency results have been verified and tallied. But because of the commotion, somehow they would not be part of the announcement. But why did the chair, just before, when calm was restored, why would he not have included them? Because they had already been verified and tallied. Or did not include in the final so that they shouldn't be here bothering us? Why was it, where was the hurry this time? And already the results had been tallied and verified. Thank you, CJ.
Sorry, I just forgot a quick question, Professor Muigai, regarding my questions on Article 138. What is the implication of what you are suggesting on the chairpersons of other commissions? And I say chairperson, I noticed today everyone's talking about chairman. The correct term is chairperson.
Iyo yuma miario ya acirithania acio makĩũria ciũria icio no Wanjikũ wa Kĩmani nĩ arĩkia gũtũharĩrĩria riboti rĩu yothe reke tũmĩamũkĩre na njĩra ĩgwete.
Na President Muthure William Ruto aria maramatetera cira-inĩ wa gutetia maumĩrĩra ma gĩthurano gĩa president nĩ morĩtio ciũria nĩ acirithania a igoti itũgĩru cia kũhe hinya maũndũ marĩa matengemanĩtie mbere ya igoti. Ciũria iria ciambĩrĩirio nĩ mũcirithania William Ouko orĩtie wakiri Mahat Somane ũrĩa cira-inĩ ũyũ ũrathathaũra namba na mathabu ma kura cia gĩthurano atarĩrie kana kũrĩ na ũhotekeku wa aikia amwe a kura gũthura o president na gũtiganĩria iturwa icio ingĩ ithano.
Would you tell us how many constitute stray ballots? And can you also share with us how those stray ballots are distributed in terms of counties? Related to that, did you have, in your analysis, did you have any instances where voters walked into the polling station, voted for the president, and no other candidate?
So the format initially is JPEG. At what point exactly does it convert to PDF?
Oho acirithania aya nĩ morĩtie igoti gũtarĩrio ũtiganu wa wĩra wa makomishona na mũikarĩri gĩtĩ wa IEBC.
So what is the check for this all-powerful chair if the commissioners have nothing to do with his role? What would happen if the chair was to announce the wrong results completely? Or if he was mentally incapacitated or sick, or worst case scenario, dead? Who then would announce the result?
What the constitutional role of the 6 commissioners is under Article 140. And once you tell us what it is, just position their role against that of the staff of the Secretariat.
Kweyeheria kwa makomishona na aria mathire mukawa-inĩ wa Serena na aria angĩ gũtigwo Bomas kũrĩa moimĩrĩra manĩrĩirwo. Mũnini wa mũcirithania mũnene Philomena Mwilu orĩtie mwena wa thitango ũtarĩria igoti kana no gũkorwo kwahutanĩrie na moimĩrĩra.
The walking away of the 4 commissioners to go and hold, was it an IBC meeting at Serena? Or was the IEBC meeting at Bomas? But please comment on the walking away of the 4 commissioners almost at the same time as the chair was about to declare the results. And in fact, I recall, because I was glued on TV myself, among their first words were that we have done an excellent job as concerns this election. But the results that the chairman is about to release are his results. So please comment for my benefit that working out and how was it timed? You've got to know, because these are your clients, that they would be walking out of Bomas to Serena to allow all media houses, in fact, except for the violence that occurred at Bomas, the split screens of media houses would have been showing each one of them addressing us, the Kenyan voter, at the same time. In fact, at one moment there, I thought the team at Serena would give us their numbers, and the team at Bomas was going to give us their own numbers. So my concern is, does their walking out mean anything under Article 140? If it does, what is it? If it doesn't,
disconnect arising from IEBC, because when we look at Article 88, the role of IEBC is to supervise and conduct elections. I do not want to repeat this question. Why the chairman deemed it fit to allocate commissioners, I think what has been described as domestic chores, leaving the core business of IEBC to the CEO to supervise. We've been told that they did a good job in the polling stations. Polling went on well, counting, tallying, and transmission until the National Tallying Center, where they are all there, but they are not doing the core business of, according to the Constitution, they have been given other duties. This is bringing a lot of questions.
Mwena uria uthitangitwo ningi ni uritio utariri uria thitangani mendaga kuhutania na moimirira. Mwena wa Bomas ta uria wakiri Githumo Igai erite igoti riu.
Then there was bound to be chaos. But on the other hand, the chair, in his affidavit, tells the court that the only reason the AG, not the AG, but the individuals, distinguished people for whom we have a lot of respect, paid that visit, was to tell the chair to somehow re-engineer the results in favor of one of the candidates. Now, this is not a question to you, but a question to Mr. Chepkati's counsel. Professor, you may want to or even Mr. Karori, are we to assume that by the time Mr. Kinyo placed this call, if the intention was to influence the declaration of the results, to change it, to re-engineer it, are we to assume that by the time that call was placed and by the time these gentlemen paid this visit, they already knew the results? Because there's no way they would have been on that mission if they had not known the results. So are we to assume that if this be their mission, are we to assume that they already knew the results?
And even I saw the affidavit of Professor Goulier, where he actually says he expects action to be taken to investigate those criminal election offences. So I just wanted to inquire that would you expect, having had such elaborate submissions and affidavits, would you still expect us to make a determination, apportion blame, attribute blame, yet really the matter is not before us? Neither are we witnesses, neither were we at the bombers, neither were these matters had on merit before us. That's the question I would like you to think about and reflect. And when you come back, you will tell us whether you expect any release from us on that aspect.
Mawakiri aya ni mahoete igoti nginyagia wa gatano rucine makorwo mebangite gucokia ciuria kuria mahetwo ndagika 30 mawakiri eri makigayana ndagika o wakiri ndagika 15 ngiribotera Inoro TV njitagwo Wanjiko wa Kimani.
Collect fare kwa boda au matatu ukitumia ViewPay cashless na uqualify for bima ya 100,000 shillings pamoja na medical cover ya